so bold, searching for secrets hidden in the fold. Under the vows where shadows creep, the truth awaits and mysteries deep. Voices call out from the shadows hold, stories untold where courage is gold. Exposing the lies that bind the free, expanding horizons for all to see. Voices call out from the shadows hold, stories untold where courage is gold. Exposing the lies that bind the free, expanding horizons for all to see. Truth seekers rise, lift your eyes. Break the chains darkness defies. Shine the light, uncover what's right, for all to see in the dead of night. Questions arise like sparks in the dark. Instrumental are we, leaving a mark. No more silence, the truth shall unseal. With every step, the wounds will heal. Courageous hearts in unity stand. With revelations, the world is planned. Fears fall away like dust in the breeze. Truth sets us free, we'll never appease. Truth seekers rise, lift your eyes. Break the chains darkness defies. Shine the light, uncover what's right, for all to see in the dead of night. Truth seekers rise, lift your eyes. Break the chains darkness defies. Shine the light, uncover what's right, for all to see in the dead of night. In the dead of night. In the dead of night.
Good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Mr. B. How you going? Well, I haven't been online for quite some time, or live anyhow. I've been doing AI documentaries to do. Boring. Really is. This old geezer hasn't been well over the last few months, especially with the cold weather, arthritis, and all that stuff. You know, I mean, hey, as they say, shit happens. Excuse my vulgarity. Anyway, here I am tonight. I've actually, tonight what's been happening in the US lately. It's kind of it rattles me a bit. I mean, America, the USA is supposed to be Australia's ally in defence and everything else, and I have to. This big question mark came up. Boom. And what's happening in the USA at the moment with this hurricanes, and what's happening in North Carolina, and you know, I mean, here we have the most powerful nation in the world, and they can't send in supplies. The military cannot send in supplies to the people of North Carolina. Most of the work that's been done there, the help is coming from the local people themselves, charity workers, voluntary workers. And I think it's, as an Australian, an outsider looking in, I think it's absolutely disgusting how your government is treating you. I think, what kind of an ally do we have? That's the thing. Big question marks come up. Boom. And the thing is, it sounds like, look, I must say this to protect myself, okay? This is for entertainment purposes only. This is what I'm saying is only my perspective and how I see things. As a 74-year-old geezer, I've seen things, I've experienced things in life. I've served. I know what hardships is all about. I've been through it myself. And when a government can actually provide billions of dollars to places like Israel and billions of dollars to the Ukraine, not just in money, assets, food, and equipment, and they're not providing it for their own citizens. Now that really puts up big warning signs for me. And listen, I don't like talking about politics or religion. I'll be honest, I like to keep that out. But I feel what's going on and what I'm hearing doesn't sit well with me. And I just can't sit here, be quiet, and say nothing and say, oh, it's that little pass. I don't know. Something's not right. And, I've seen clips on Facebook, YouTube about what's actually happening. When I try to find these, I find them and I can't download them. For some reason, I just can't. Everything else I can download. I can download all the CNN, ABC news and everything else. But unfortunately, when people are put things online saying we need help, we're not getting any help. I can't download these video clips. When I try to find them and I find them and I try to download, it says error. It's like they're blocked. And I think people have a right to know what's happening. And look, as far as I'm concerned, I expect this show tonight to be shut down. I really do. Because I'm speaking the truth, my truths. That's all it is, my truths. You guys can believe what you want to believe. I've been around a long time to know what bullshit is all about. And I'm sure there's a lot of you guys out there that see it too. But I'm not afraid to talk about it. And I think we need to make people accountable. I'm worried about my government in Australia making an alliance with America. They can't even look after their own people. Do you know how that makes me feel very insecure? Look at what's happening in Asia at the moment. In the South China Seas, with China taking over areas of the South China Sea. And the Philippines are being threatened in many ways. Chinese moved into the South China Seas and they signed an agreement with the last Filipino president saying they want to go into this area for gas and oil research and exploration. Instead, what they do, they built a friggin' island. Excuse me, just had a cough. And the world's not doing it. Now, what is the United Nations doing? They're sitting on their big fat dates, kind of doing nothing. They're supposed to stop world tensions. We're living in a time where personally, my perspective, not saying it's true, I see America going into a socialist situation. They don't care about their people. They're trying to reduce the population. They don't care about if they start World War III. That's the point. That's the issue I'm talking about. What's happening in Ukraine? Do you know what? What's happening in Ukraine? Do you know what? They're not attacking the NATO. They're not, and okay, what they should do, they should open up the borders in Europe and say, hey, everybody from Ukraine, if they want to move out, let them move out. Let Russia take it. But they won't go any further past the Ukraine border. I mean, is the world really worth sacrificing? Let's face it, the history of Ukraine, the history of Russia. I know I've gone off track here a little bit, but just bear with me. The history between Russia and Ukraine has been very close for many years, especially during the period of the USSR. There is history between Russia and Ukraine. And remember, Ukraine is not a member of NATO. Actually, believe it or not, NATO actually refused it. But yet, Russia decided to go in and say, okay, we're going to make it under Russian rule. What gives America the right to interfere if they're not a NATO member? If anything, it should be the European people that should be standing up for the Ukrainians, not America. Now we've got all these billions of dollars pumping in from the States. Airplanes, tanks, you name it, everything. And they can't even airlift food and water to people in North Carolina. It doesn't sit right. It doesn't sit right. And quite honestly, as an Australian, I don't want that government as an ally. Can't be trusted. They just cannot be trusted. And I think it's time for the American people to stand up and say, let's look after our own, look after our vets, look after our homeless. Decent health care. As an Australian, to be honest, it's none of my business what happens in America. None of my business. I do not have a right at all. But I have a right to have an opinion of what I see, what I'm hearing, and the information I can. I can download anything from CNN. I can download anything from the ABC. But guess what? Anything outside that, everything I download, it's kind of a error. Everything comes up there. The only one I got to download now, listen, this is a little video clip that went viral on Facebook, which I'll show now. And there are some areas I think there's 10 times worse, believe it or not. And I think the hearts of people out there got to start kind of thinking about this, think about what's really happening. Anyway, here I should show it now. And it lasts for about a minute. It's sad, eh? It looks bad. It really does look bad, doesn't it? But I've seen worse, but I can't seem to download it. I mean, the floods that was happening in North Carolina, the cars being washed down the street, people screaming and shouting, and it got no help. And your government is kind of turning a blind eye. Why? Why are they doing this? Why are they so got no compassion for these people? I mean, the local community around these people is doing their best to help them. They have trouble getting in because the roads collapsing, trees blocking the way, mudslides and everything from the hills and everything. My heart goes out to these people, really does. And as if I was in that situation, I'll be asking why, and I'll be angry. I really would be angry that my own government can't even look after me. Well, it's not look after me personally, sort of thing. It's help our community. Look, I ask you guys, when you see things about what nasty things that are happening by people that have putting up videos and everything else, try downloading them. And you'll find that if you try to copy them and to broadcast it, right, I tell you now, it'll show error. They won't allow you to copy it because they don't want you to friggin' know. And that's the sad thing about it all. It really is, But what do you do? What can you do? That's the thing. I mean, it's a difficult situation, and if they say, "Oh, we have to go for Congress, we have to do this, get approval for this and approval for that," guess what? They knew this storm was coming in days. They could have prepared for it well before. There's no excuse. I mean, listen, I don't take political side. I try not to. But what I'm actually seeing is when I hear Kamala Harris saying, "I'll fix this problem," well, hey, they're in government now. Why aren't they fixing it now? Why aren't they? I mean, do they have to wait until they're back in government again after the next election? It's scary, mate. It really is scary. I mean, it sounds like a lot of fucking bullshit to me. Excuse my language. It is. It's just fucking bullshit. And that's all I'm hearing is bullshit. Honestly, the way I'm seeing things, if that party comes in, your country will be communist within the next 4 years, or maybe 8 years. Why is China allowed to actually manufacture so much and allowed to build their armies and navies and everything else? They only do it because the global economic, everybody sent their factories there to China because it's cheap. Bullshit. It's my opinion is, entertainment purposes only. My opinion is America's been sold out. And that's what I honestly believe. They've been sold out. So what actually happens now, from now on? Do the American people have to stand up and start saying, no, enough is enough? I think the Australian people themselves should stand up and say, we're not taking this fucking shit from America anymore. They're supposed to be the democracy leaders of the world. And if they're not showing democracy and freedom of speech and allow people and look after their own people, it's a lie. That's what they're telling us. They're telling us it's a friggin' lie. I don't know how you look at it, but this is how I see it. And I expect my Facebook page and YouTube and everything to be shut down tomorrow and everything else. But that's okay. At least I've got out what I wanted to say and spit the dummy, because actually I'm angry. I'm angry. I feel sorry for the people in North Carolina. I feel sorry for the people in Florida that they have to put up with the government. I mean, here's $750. What? You just lost your freaking house worth $30 or $40, $50,000, and they're going to give you $750. What's that going to do? Put a fucking Band-Aid on it? What? Come on, bullshit. What about food? Excuse me. It's a sad situation, you know. But I actually came on in not to kind of speak for too long, but if anybody wants to join me, if you look in the chat, you'll actually see a link if you want to come in and join the conversation. Anybody, if you look in the chat in YouTube, you'll actually see the link there. You can clip in. You can join me on a conversation. Hey, feel free. Hey, I don't mind. You're allowed to have an opinion. I'm giving you my opinion, and you're allowed to have your opinion, even if you disagree with me. Let's have a chat. Yeah, we can have a conversation to be. Let's put it this way: to agree to disagree. But excuse me, I'm going to have a cough. That felt better. Yeah, this old man. Yeah, look, I just get to a point where I'm a ufologist. That's what I'm into. And as a ufologist, I'm seeing so much bullshit in ufology. I really am. All the gurus of ufology. Look, man, if people stop and say to themselves, what's going on here? They'll actually see that these people are making thousands, if any, millions of dollars. It's a multi-million-dollar industry. And people are going to understand that. Even within podcasting. I mean, I don't make any money. Look, mate, I'm not interested in making money in podcasting. I'm really not. You either join me or you don't. I don't care. I have my opinion. And then I put a link in my chat for anybody who wants to jump in and have an argument with me, or agree or disagree. I don't mind. I'm not out to convince people of anything. I'm just out to speak and have my opinion. What I call my soapbox. Stand up and say what's on my mind. You know, and what's happening in America at the moment scares me. It scares me when I look at the political situation between Harris and Trump. As an outsider, I see it as a three-ring circus. It's all bullshit, man. You know, I don't like Trump, and I definitely don't like Harris, more so. Trump, he's a funny bloke. He's a businessman. He run America like a business. He's out to make a profit. Now remember, America, if the economy is good and everybody's working, they can buy apartments, buy property. And if he pulls out companies out of China and bring them back to America, especially in the auto industry, well, there's real estate up for sale. What is Trump into? Real estate. He may not own all the properties which get sold, but it builds the real estate industry, puts people in work. People buy homes, they buy shops, they buy everything. everything from television sets to when people are working, they buy all the gadgets and it's good for the economy. He's a businessman. He knows this. As a politician, he's full of shit. But I tell you something, at least he's not selling out the country. That's my personal opinion. And that's all it is, my personal opinion. And if you want to got a different opinion than me, go to my chat in Facebook and YouTube, and kind of click on the link and come and join me. Let's talk. I don't mind. I welcome anybody. I'm kind, I'm nice, I'm not rude. Just as long as you don't kind of be abusive, but you can give you're entitled to your opinion. Join me. Go to YouTube chat and come and say hello and tell me what you think. But the thing is, we all live in very difficult times at the moment in a global sense. And all I'm hearing, what's happening in America, but it's not just in America, it's also in Australia. Our fuel, 1 minute it's expensive, next minute it's cheap, next minute it's expensive, next minute it's cheap. It's up and down like a freaking yo-yo. When I talk about expensive, we sell fuel here, not in gallons, but in liters. Now, this week I've seen the fuel go from $2.15 a litre down to $1.53 a litre, and it varies. And and food has gone up in price. I don't know why. I can't see why the food has gone up in such price. But again, g'day, Robert. How are you, mate? Why don't you come and join me? Click on the link, mate. You come and say hello. Anyway, my friend Robert Bauer is there. He kind of dropped in and say hello. Yeah, Trump is not a politician. That's what I just said, Robert. He's not but he is. He is a businessman. God, you just repeated every word I just said, buddy. Come on in, Robert. Come on in, mate. I did send you a link earlier on, so I'll send you a link again, mate, if you're still there. But it's really strange how people are kind of. We seem to be being led up a peripheral bloody what they call path. Really are, and the thing is, I just sent you a link, Rob. It's up to you if you want to join me, mate. Anyway, we've been sent up this path of fuckery, as I would say. Oh dear. Robert's on the road. Okay. Sorry, Robert. I did send you a link again, mate. Yeah, Jim's out. Jim Goodold's also out at the moment too, getting his frigging hair trimmed. At least he's got more than what I've frigging got. Look at that. Anyway, guys, this is great. But again, look, I'm just saying what's got to be said. That's it. Tell me, are you guys in America really happy with what's happening? Are you really happy with what's going on? The price of everything gone up, your fuel's gone up, everything's gone up. And, crime's on the rise. Police are not being used, though. They're being defunded, as they say. And a massive unemployment. And the government you have at the moment is saying, you vote me in, I'll fix the problem straight away. Although, aren't they already in government? Duh. Come on. I don't need to pull their head out of their ass, honestly. Yeah. But then again, here am I just doing a waffle on, speaking my opinion. And it's important that people got to understand that they have a right. They have a right to expect help from their government. They have a right for freedom of speech. They have a right to stand up and speak their friggin' mind differently. No doubt, no doubt about it. And why should people like Facebook and YouTube and say, "Oh, we've got to censor all this shit"? What do they call facts? Are they being paid to shut you down or what? I don't know. But I'm getting pissed off with it. I haven't been doing many live shows lately. Number one, I'm an old geezer, and that reminds me too. I check into Nexus Netcast, the Geezer Geeks, this Saturday in the US in the evening, and with Robert Bauer and us guys, and he'll be doing a nice show. We usually cover good subjects there. So I'm part of the Geezer Geek, and one of the old geezer. I'm a grumpy old geezer geek. Jim's the old geezer geek. So we've got different geezer geeks, but there's a bunch of us, and we have a good time. Just join us there. Hey, whatever you do, you'll enjoy it. I know I do. So we should go on for a few hours, such as waffle on, and we have opinions and everything. And I hope Robert actually covers this subject in the next Geezer Geeks. It'd be good that we do. It's not just my opinion. We need to get opinion from other people, other perspectives as well. I mean, I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying I'm right at all. All I'm giving is my personal opinion, entertainment purposes only. But that's what it's all about, isn't it? But yet, your government, your big brother can send billions to the Ukraine, and it can send billions also to Israel. What can I say? What can I say? I mean, proof is in the pudding itself. I mean, doesn't it put a nasty taste in your mouth thinking about it? I mean, honestly, guys, you really need to I think we all need to stand up and say enough is a fucking enough. Excuse my language. But you've got to call it how you see it. Enough is enough. And as an Australian, it makes me worry that we have such a government ally that cannot look after its own people, that are more willing to finance a war and allow what's happening in the South China Seas. And it's sad, isn't it, that people like Britain and France send their ships into the South China Seas as support for the Philippines and other countries there, and Japan. But US is not doing jack shit, really. That's worrying for me. That's worrying. It's sending up. Personally, I feel like I've got to say no. I've got to say, I know my mate Robert will turn around and say, speak the truth, call it how you see it, and stop being soft, pussyfooting around with it. What I'm seeing, if it keeps going on like this, I can see America being communist in line with China within the next 15, 20 years. That's my opinion. Only my opinion. Oh, get it right. But, yeah. So what do you think? So anybody got any comments? That's what I like to know. Nobody's got any comments. Oh dear. We've got 3 people viewing at the moment. But then again, are you guys really scared to speak up? You got to talk about it, guys. It's talking about it, doing something about it. Ignoring it and putting your head up your ass is not a way to go. What's happening is friggin' wrong. What's happening is definitely wrong. As an Australian, I'm sticking up for you Americans, the people themselves. Unfortunately, the voluntary people that are putting posts online, I can't download. It always says error, 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 error. I can pick up videos of storms and things like that. But when people talk about that the government's not doing anything, we're not getting supplies through. You know what? So what? They got blocked friggin' roads after the storm. So what? They can't get supplies. They got friggin' helicopters. They got bloody helicopters big enough to carry tanks. Come on, guys. I mean, the biggest bloody and the most powerful military on the bloody planet cannot help their own people. God, give me strength. Your government at the moment, as far as I'm concerned, is full of shit. I tell you that now. That's my opinion only. You don't like it, you can fuck off. I don't care. Because it worries me what direction we're going. Listen, I don't usually follow politics at all. But I've been looking at what's happening in the US lately, especially with this hurricane. You know, what happened in North Carolina, what's happening in Florida. And I tell you now, mate, I'm not happy at all. I mean, seeing people in tears when they post stuff, more suddenly they post disappear. They post it saying, oh, look at this and look at that. And all of a sudden, you don't see the post anymore. It's been taken offline. That's what bothers me. But if it's CNN, they're talking about this and talking about that, or it's ABC News, that's all good. But they're not talking about the people who are struggling. They're just saying, oh, look at the roof. We had a power surge and a few of the superconductors blew out and we had a blackout there and there was 10 sheets flying through the roof. Yeah, we know that. That's the type of shit that happens all the time. We know that. You know that. You don't need a hurricane for that to happen. You can just have a normal windstorm. But we get it in Australia. You know, we get a nasty little storm go through, a couple of trees go down, a few branches go down, a few tin roofs go off. But when people are flooded out their homes and their houses are destroyed and people are losing their lives, and nobody's doing, the only people that are doing anything about it are the local people themselves and the towns around them. Charity. The government's doing jack shit. To me, it's shameful. It's shameful. And what I find shameful is that when people post things, I see it. I'm constantly on my phone most of the time, covering this shit. On my computer, I'm covering it. I tried to record it, and all of a sudden it's taken offline. Why? Why all of a sudden you can't copy what people put online? Yeah, I mean, most other links you can copy and paste, but all of a sudden they disappear because they don't want people. They're trying to hide from people the fact that they desperately need help, and the government is doing nothing about it. What are you the American public going to do about it? I think it's disgusting. And I'm only an outsider looking in. And I think it's about time the Australian government start reassessing alliances. I mean, I like a straight-to-state alliance with America, not with the existing government that doesn't look after their own people. If they don't look after their own people, are they going to look after our country if we were under a threat? And that's what concerns me. See, in Australia, we're only 28. We're a continent. We're a small continent, largest island on the planet. And you've got 28 million people here. Compared to about, was it 360 million in America? Billions in bloody China. 100 million in the Philippines. I don't know how many in bloody Indonesia. And then we got Japan, you know. Maybe we should be joining up more so stronger with Japan and a few other. And the Philippines and a few other countries in our region. Because I tell you now, I will fight to my dying breath to protect my freedom and the freedom of my fellow men. You know what I mean? I am an alpha. I tell you now, what I'm seeing is wrong. And I can't say. I'm powerless to do anything but to speak up. And I hope other people see and listen to what I'm saying, because I'm actually believing I'm talking from the heart. I haven't done a show for, I think, about 2.5 months. I've done lots of shows like my AI documentaries and stuff like that every week. But I haven't come on doing a live show for a while now. But I felt convicted last night that I have to say something here, because what I'm seeing is wrong. How can your government do this to you? How can they? It's worse than an insult. It really is. Bureaucracy? Bullshit. You have to go to Congress to be able to do this, that? Bullshit. Hey, doesn't the president have an executive order saying, do this now, let's get going? Well, get the military to do it now. Because I tell you something, if your country is under threat, they'll act immediately, in seconds of the command. Isn't your country under threat now? It is under threat. And I'll be asking myself, what alliances the Biden camp got with China? What alliance have they got with Russia when it comes to the oil pipeline? And why would any intelligent human being stop an oil pipeline coming from Alaska to the US to make it fully independent on oil, which you can sell to the rest of the world and be oil independent? Why would you want to stop that? And allow your enemies to benefit from it. I mean, it really does put a shitty taste in your mouth when you think about it. I mean, when you think about it, I mean, I'm sure there's people out there. Look, I'm not one to pick sides, but when I see something that doesn't sit right, I mean, let's put it this way. If you went to a shop and say shop A was selling porterhouse steak for $20 and the other shop was selling porterhouse steak for $40, which one will you go to and buy? Exactly. You know what I'm talking about. You buy the $20 one. That's where you're going shop. But would you close that one that's selling for $20 down? Or would you kind of promote them? Because they provide meat at a cheaper cost. Now, we're talking about food here. People complain about the price of living going up. And how did this price of living go up? It's because the price of fuel went up. From Russia, from China, everywhere else, and you're paying top dollar. And now they say, oh, it costs more to transport this stuff. So therefore the price of goods go up in the shop. I don't see the logic of actually shutting down a pipeline that they already started building and just stop it flat. Stop it. Boom. Bullshit. Straight out. They just stopped it. And now you're paying for higher fuel, higher cost of living, and where does it all end? And who's making money out of this? I'm not saying what was on Biden's laptop with the big guy is true or not. I have nothing to do with that. I do not know the facts behind it. But still sounds very suspicious to me that you actually cut the throat that feeds you. The throat that feeds you is the pipeline, the artery of your country, the artery that feeds you the oil to make fuel for cheaper transport, for exporting. Why should you have to rely on Russian or Chinese? And for a fact, why should you have to depend on Chinese for your products when you can manufacture it yourself? Now, I know in Australia, now this is a true story here. Australia has a lot of what they call pine plantations. And, okay, it's renewable resource. We cut our pine plantation down and we grind it up and we send it off to China. Or don't grind it all down, but we send the wood off to China. And China makes furniture like TV cabinets, chest of drawers and stuff with it. We buy them back, $450, $500 for a cabinet, maybe $600 for a cabinet, for a TV cabinet. In Australia, if you want to buy a TV cabinet made at an Australian cabinet maker, you're looking at about $1,500. 3 times more the price. But the difference is what you're actually buying for $1,500. You're buying furniture that's been constructed properly. Not glued and stapled, tongue and grooved, feather tape, The furniture you buy will last 150 years, maybe longer. And so you look at stuff you buy from China, it's cheap, but $500. It's going to last you 15 years if you're lucky. Well-known fact. But the Australian industry cannot buy the wood as cheap as we're selling it to the fucking Chinese. It makes me angry. But you got what I do like what Trump's talking about. Now I'll change the subject, get back on track. Don't take me wrong, I'm not 100% a Trump supporter, but he's better than what you fucking got. He's a businessman. He's not a politician. He's a businessman. And if he says he's going to pull companies out of China and put it in America to put American people on work, all good. To me, that's a plus. That's, hey, give me credit. I think everybody benefits in work. Makes no difference if you're black, white, Caucasian, or well, I mean, whatever. I mean, whatever, whoever you are. I'm not racist. I'm all for Hispanics. I'm all for blacks, coloured people, whatever you want to call them. You know what I mean? I live in a multicultural country, which we do not, be honest with you, we do not in Australia have racial prejudice. The only people here in Australia that treat other people differently are usually people that migrated to Australia, and they bring their fucking problems with them, and that really pisses the average Australian off. But we don't have a really big problem. And we get a lot of people from Africa, coloureds. I don't know why we call them coloureds, because at the end of the day, we're coloureds. I got blue eyes, pink skin, grey hair. I mean, how technical do you want to get, you know? But every person coloured, what we call a coloured person from South Africa, I've met, are beautiful people. They're usually very religious people too, believe it or not. But not that I'm into religion, but hey, they are lovely people. And I find that people bring their problems here, and I have no problems with people from different religions, but don't try to change our politics to suit your religion. Not so long ago, we've had Muslims trying to implement Shiite law in Australia through government. Now, I have an old saying, if you're not happy with our country, fuck off out of it, you know. And the same in America too. If you're not happy with the American politics, well, fuck off. That's easy. Let's go. Just go. Don't stay. Nobody's holding you here, keeping you here. You don't have to believe what we want. If you don't like living here with us, well, go. It's easy. You've got a choice, you know. But don't come here looking for a new life and try to change it like it is back where you ran away from. That's the thing. Yeah. But again, sorry guys if you feel like I'm waffling on, but I just felt like I just need to spit the dummy, speak the truth about a few things. Look, if any of you people there that are watching at the moment want to come, hey, join me in a friendly conversation, just go to YouTube. And when you go to YouTube, go in the chat and you'll see a link there saying StreamYard. Click on that link and I'll bring you into the studio and you can talk. You can either go camera or just voice. You don't have to show your face. I'm not going to be here for much longer because the time here now in Western Australia is 3:44 a.m. It's a late night for me, but I did go to bed early and I thought, I'll have enough. I think to myself, I really don't like what's freaking happening in this world. And it scares me what's happening, not just in America. The whole world's gone freaking crazy, you know? And usually if I had my good friends on, like Mr. Robert Bauer and Mr. Jim Goodall and Gerald from Midwest Night Watches, I'm sure they put in their 10 cents worth. But unfortunately, nobody's here to have a conversation with me and talk about it. But that's fine. That's fine. Jim Goodall's gone to get his haircut. Robert Bauer's on the road. So he said, I'm on the road, he says. He's a good bloke. But again, and I should have called my friend. I'll just see if he's there available. I'll send out a link to a friend of mine. See if he's available. He probably not. But I'll send out an invite for him. I'm not going to be here for much longer. Anyway, Where we go. Not working. Oh, here it is. There we go. Series. Well, then it comes up an error. Please try again later. Oh, okay. No, not going to work. Never mind. Go back to where it was. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Yes. Well, I've gone from 4 views down to 2 views. I wonder who's viewing it at the moment. Say hello. Just send me a wave. Actually, I'll have a look, see who's on my Facebook. Got to be a Facebook person. There we go. Oh, such is life. That's the thing, I mean, normally I'm more, even more prepared, but the point is, usually have more extra video clips and stuff like that. But for some reason, I just couldn't download stuff like that. But for some reason, I just could not download. I just couldn't. Oh, I'm getting it. Yeah, there we go. For some reason, I just couldn't get a I just could not get a copies of all those people complaining about their near assistance. And that bothers me. And that really does bother me, But then again, what can one do? And, I can ignore it. We can all just put our head up our asses and say, let it go. But I tell you something, I'm thinking of the future of my granddaughters, my grandchildren. When something doesn't sit right with you, and you know it doesn't sit right, what do? Do you just shut up and say nothing? I know we can ramble on to a little heart content. Again, I repeat, all this is for entertainment purposes only. Okay? And of course, it's only what I'm saying, it's only my opinion. And I don't know how you guys feel out there. I'm pretty sure you've probably got your own opinions. And if you do, send me a message. When you watch this, just send me a message. I like to hear your input. You can either send me a message in Facebook or in YouTube, doesn't matter. I like to hear your input. For or against, you can either say bullshit or I agree. It doesn't matter. I won't take offense. If you want to kind of delete me from your friend list, that's fine. If you're into it, if you're a political nut, that's fine. Or because I have an opinion, that's fine. Because I tell you now, you can delete me, I guarantee somebody else is just jumping in your place. Doesn't hurt me. I got 5,000 friends on Facebook and 2,500 people on in my group. So is it 2.5? What is it? What do I got? Yeah, 2,600 people in my group. And, you know, I mean, I'm here for anybody. If anybody got an opinion, I'm here to listen to them. I'm not closed mind. I'm not a stubborn person. If you can tell me I'm wrong and tell me why I'm wrong, I will evaluate it. I'm open-minded. I am open-minded. But take note. All I'm asking you guys out there is to take note. When you see people saying they're getting assistance from all the local people and the government's not doing anything, they're not helping, not sending in help, not sending in food or water, take note of this. And about a couple of hours later, then try to find that same podcast, that the same what people broadcast, and you'll find it will just disappear because they don't want you to know. Because the system goes through and says, oh, God, we've got to delete this. We can't have people listening to this shit. That's their government's attitude. I'm not going to sit here and let the cabal, the one world order, try to take my security away. I'll die before they do that. I will not. I will fight for my freedom, fight for my rights. I don't care what they think. They can't stop me from thinking it. They can't stop me from believing it. So you can take that, do whatever you want. Anyway, guys, this is Mr. B. Been well overdue doing a live podcast, and there will be more coming along. Hopefully I'll be more organized. A few more videos packed in the site there. We can talk about and have a few people and some guests on as well. And, it will be interesting. But hey, do us a favor. Drop us a line. I like to hear your opinion, what you think. That's if you have the page to watch for over an hour and 5 minutes or something like that, But that's how long I've been online for so far. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for joining me. Remember, be nice, be kind, and aspire to inspire one another. It costs nothing. It really costs nothing. And as my good friend, Mr. Doc Skinner would say, let's lift each other up so we can all rise together. Anyway, this is Mr. B, from Mr. B and Friends Truth Seekers, saying good night, or actually it's nearly 4 o'clock in the morning for me. So good morning, good evening, wherever you are. Have a wonderful day. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Bye-bye now.